Hi, my name is Natalie Gilmore, and as my quality of character, I chose to do leadership because leadership is something that is so important to me and has been important to me throughout my athletic career and my college athletic experiences, as well as my job now and my job experiences, and also among my relationships. So, first, I would like to define leadership. I have here some definitions by John Maxwell. He says that a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. I also have a quote here by John Quincy Adams. He says, "If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you are a leader." My definition would be someone who leads by example. I personally agree with both of these definitions because I think that a leader should be someone who lives a lifestyle that they want their constituents to follow. As examples of leadership, I included leadership in coaching and leadership roles in life. So in coaching, I put successful coaches like Pat Summitt, John Wooden, Vince Lombardi, and Anson Dorrance. Just a brief overview of those. Pat Summitt was the University of Tennessee women's basketball coach. She is best known for winning more games than any other NCAA Division I basketball coach, male or female. John Wooden was the UCLA men's basketball coach. He led the team to 10 NCAA championships in 12 years. Vince Lombardi was the head coach of the Green Bay Packers during the 1960s. He led the team to 3 straight and 5 total NFL championships in 7 years. Lastly, Anson Dorrance, who I am personally a huge fan of. He is the head women's soccer coach at UNC Chapel Hill. He led the Tar Heels to 21 of 31 NCAA women's soccer championships. The Tar Heels' record under Dorrance is 719 wins, 39 ties, and 24 losses over 33 seasons. He was also voted NCAA Women's Soccer Coach of the Year 7 times. Also, in examples of leadership, I included leadership roles in life. This could be anything from teachers, coaches, parents, mentors, etc., to maybe even nannies or older siblings, or anybody that would be in a position of leadership, maybe someone that has younger children or someone who looks up to them as an example would be a leadership role in life. I also included examples of famous leaders, the first one being Tom Brady, quarterback of the New England Patriots. A quote from him that I really liked. He says, "You get in the huddle and you call those plays. You have 10 other guys that are feeling your energy. And what are you putting off? Are you putting off confidence? Are you putting off fear? You know, they can feel that. And when they get in the huddle with me, I want to look in their eyes and I want them to feel the belief that we're going to do it." Tom Brady is one of only 2 players to win 5 Super Bowls and the only player to win them all playing for one team. Another example of a famous leader I have going back to successful coaches and Pat Summitt. She spent 38 years as the head coach of the University of Tennessee women's basketball team. She won 8 national titles and 1,098 games. Tennessee also made 31 consecutive NCAA tournament appearances under Coach Summitt. She says, "I'm someone who will push you beyond all reasonable limits. Someone who will ask you not to just fulfill your potential, but to exceed it. Someone who will expect more from you than you may believe you are capable of." Another example of a famous leader, I included John Wooden, who was the UCLA men's basketball coach, as I previously mentioned. He says, "Perhaps you fret and think you can't make a difference in the way things are. Wrong. You can make the biggest difference of all. You can change yourself. And when you do that, you become a very powerful and important force, namely, a good role model." A good leader, I believe, practices what they preach and allows people to see the lessons in their actions instead of relying only on those leaders' words. So having a coach or a manager that has the mantra of "do as I say, not as I do" is not ideal for someone like me. I also included some leadership poems and sayings and some quotes from some people that I admire. I'm not going to read them all to you now, but all 3 of these quotes are motivational and talk about pushing people to be their best and instilling confidence in people. That's what I personally think leadership is. When I've lost confidence in myself or the will to continue to work hard, looking at that person that I view as a leader inspires me to keep moving. Next, I included a quote from John Maxwell's Ethics 101 book. He says that there are really only 3 kinds of people: those who don't succeed, those who achieve success temporarily, and those who become and remain successful. Character is the only way to sustain success. So Maxwell would say to attain good character is through the golden rule. So in order to sustain success, you need to have good character. In order to have good character, according to Maxwell, you need to ask yourself the golden rule every day, which is, how would I like to be treated in this situation? Also, another thing by John Maxwell, the 21 indispensable qualities of a leader. These are all great characteristics that a leader should try to possess. I just highlighted some of my favorite ones that I think are most important and relate to me specifically. I think that commitment is a large factor, and communication, as well as passion. In this next slide, I did kind of a boss versus leader diagram. In the top picture, there's 3 men pulling a carriage, and the boss is sitting on top of the carriage, pointing, telling the men to go. In the bottom picture, there are 4 men pulling a carriage, and there's no boss sitting at the top. The very front man pulling the carriage is a leader. So the difference between a boss and a leader is that a boss is sitting on top of the carriage saying, go, while a leader is pulling with its followers saying, let's go. Another form of leading by example, and leaders who work hard to inspire others to work hard. Next, I included examples of leadership in the form of movie clips. This movie specifically is called Facing the Giants. It's a certain scene called the Death Crawl. It's become kind of famous. I'll just explain it to you. Beginning of the video, Brock says that his own team is going to be defeated on Friday night in Friday night's game. So his coach decides to make an example out of him and makes him do the death crawl blindfolded. But what Brock doesn't know is that instead of crawling just the 50 yards that he thought he was going to crawl, he took the blindfold off and he was in the end zone. The coach says that he's the most influential player on the team and that he needs to give that much effort all the time so that his teammates follow. Another movie clip I included is from Remember the Titans. It's called Attitude Reflects Leadership. I love this scene because we see here that Jerry is talking to Julius and it's no longer a matter of race. Jerry is starting to talk to his players without the regard to race. Jerry tells the guy that he's gifted and he needs to apply himself and that they are a team. And then Julius, talking to Jerry, who is his captain, Julius tells him that you're a leader and you need to do a better job because Jerry, the captain's white friends, haven't blocked for Rev. So this is really the first time in the movie that we see Jerry and Julius talk to each other as equals and not as being separated by race. And also Jerry is there to pull greatness out of his fellow teammates as a captain. And Julius is telling Jerry that he needs to lead better for his sake. And my final movie clip is from my favorite movie series, Harry Potter. It's from the Order of the Phoenix movie. It's just a short clip that I wanted to show Harry's supportive leadership. He is forming Dumbledore's army and is teaching his classmates to create a Patronus charm of their own. For a spell like this, the kids need to think like the happiest thoughts they've ever thought. This is only possible because they trust Harry so much, and he says that he has encountered Voldemort, and no one else in the magic world believes him, and Harry wants his friends to be ready. And that concludes my PowerPoint presentation. Thank you for watching.